Experience!
This is a fantasy football update for Thursday, October 17th. The 3-point favored Denver Broncos are traveling to New Orleans. The spread has continued to grow because the injury report for the Saints has continued to grow as well. Rashid Shaheed might be out for the season. He's out for at least 4 to 6 weeks. He's undergoing knee surgery today, and we'll see how that goes. Chris Olave not playing with a concussion. Ditto on the other side of the ball. Pat Surtain will not be able to lock down Chris Olave. They can play thumb war together on the sidelines as they're both not playing on Thursday Night Football. Taysom Hill, doubtful. He's probably not going to play. Ditto for Derek Carr. Spencer Rattler will be starting in this game, leaving the wide receiver trio of Bub Memes, Cedric Wilson, and Mason Tipton for the New Orleans Saints, with obviously Kamara in the backfield and a split between Juwan Johnson and the island of Foster Moreau at tight end for the Saints. It's not looking promising for their offense. So it's Alvin Kamara, for sure. Juwan Johnson, maybe. Bub Memes, maybe, depending on how bad your fantasy team is this week. That's in season long what you're looking at. All of the rankings are updated, and they're down in the description. You can go take a look for yourself on that one to see where Bub Memes rates out versus the other options that you might have. On the other side of the ball, Sutton is kind of a start. Javonte Williams is kind of a start, and that's sort of it in this game. Don't expect a ton of points that are generated through very conventional means of quarterback passes to wide receiver for a touchdown, and you might know who that guy is. Like, it's probably going to be Devon Vale or Marvin Mims on the Broncos side, because that's how these stupid Thursday night games go. I like both of these defenses if you're going to stream anyone through fantasy, and I do have an underdog play for you for Thursday Night Football, and it's picking on some of these lower totals that we're seeing. Additionally, if you don't have underdog yet and you use code Mayo right now, you'll get a Bo Nix free pick that you can add to this. It's higher or lower than 0.5 yards for Bo Nix. So you throw it onto the 4 plays I'm giving you right now, and then boom, 20-1 on your hands, and you get a first-time deposit bonus of up to $1,000 with code Mayo. So the Bo Nix free pick, along with Lucas Krull, starting at tight end for the Broncos, higher than 8.5 yards. Additionally, on the other side, I mentioned Foster Moreau already, higher than 8.5 yards receiving. We got some low totals to clear in this game. And then just take the wide receiver 1 or 2s on the other side, on each side of the ball. Bub Means higher than 33.5 yards. I don't love Bub Means in this game tonight, but 33.5 is a pretty low number. Ditto for Devon Vale, 32.5. You hope you don't get Troy Franklin in the mix, or Mims, or you get too much Cortland Sutton, but Devon Vale has been the one generating a ton of target share from Bo Nix when he's needed to pass, and it's not a lot of a big lift to ask for 32.5 receiving yards. To go higher, use code Mayo, add that Bo Nix free pick to it, and get yourself 20-1, okay? From around the rest of the league, Cooper Kupp is somewhat trending in the right direction. He got in a limited practice on Wednesday. Sean McVay is, quote, optimistic that we'll see him on Sunday. I'm still dubious, but I left him in the rankings for the moment. Jordan Whittington also was a limited participant for the Rams with a shoulder injury. And all of a sudden, Devontae Adams' hamstring. It's fine. He's going to play on Sunday night. Mike Williams, not so much. He's got a case of the SADS, so he can't play. He's probably going to be cut at some point this week. Amari Cooper didn't even fly from Cleveland to Buffalo, by the way. He drove from Cleveland to Buffalo. They're going to try to integrate him into practice. Sean McDermott says later in the week how involved Amari Cooper is going to be. I think he's going to be plenty involved, and they're going to force him the ball. But that's me. We'll wait on the injury report and playing time. I'll have the full update on Saturday on that regard. For the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Downs, Trey Sermon, and Michael Pittman all did not practice. Pittman and Downs is for sure going to play. Pittman's probably going to play after he played through the injury last week. This happened with Sermon a week ago where he didn't practice on Wednesday and he was fine the rest of the week. Goodson's obviously the pickup if that's the case. And if Jonathan Taylor's not practicing yet, it's unlikely that he's going to play on Sunday. On the Giants, Malik Nabers, Devin Singletary, Darius Slayton, and Wendell Robinson were all limited at practice. I think all 4 of them end up playing on Sunday, which does kill the value of Tyrone Tracy Jr., which you've been using to great effect for the last 2 weeks. But if Singletary is back, I still like Tracy slightly more, but it's going to be way more of a split here. And I still think that all 3 of the Giants receivers are probably playable, but without Andrew Thomas, there's not going to be a ton of time for Daniel Jones to pass the ball. Less than normal, so The downfield routes of Malik Nabers are going to take a bit longer than maybe Daniel Jones has to develop. So we might see a new scheme for Malik Nabers, probably a lower ADOT down the field, which probably means, a lot of volume. That's great. He might even steal some of Wendale's work with those big plays that we're looking for, unless it's a very designed line shift and rollout that we're not going to see a ton of that from Malik Nabers this week, simply because there's not going to be the time to do it. The PUP list guys, Hawkinson got a limited practice. Nick Chubb got in a full practice. They're both likely to play this week, and the practice window for Jonathan Brooks on Carolina has been opened. Week 9 or Week 10 is expected from him at this point. The other injuries to watch out for, Drake Maye had an MRI on his knee after practice. We got in a full practice, then he had to go for an MRI. Watch out for that, because that's not great news. Maybe it's fine and it's like reading into something right now, but that worries me a little bit. And it's the London game. It's super early, so if you don't wake up early enough to figure it out, then you might get stuck with a dud in your lineup. But I really do like Drake Maye this week if he does play. Ramondre is not practicing as of yet in London for the Patriots. Devin Achane back to full practice. Goddard did not play. Calcaterra is the one you want to pick up. He's the stream of the week. He's the DraftKings play of the week. Dallas Goedert ain't playing in this game with a hamstring injury. Aaron Jones did not practice on Wednesday, but said he would be at practice on Thursday. Ty Conklin is the backup who would get all of the work there, although CJ Ham would probably steal some goal line touches, because that's what happens, and Ty Chandler's no good. So fingers crossed that we can get Aaron Jones into this game. And Jerome Ford was a DNP for the Browns, but with Nick Chubb coming back, who cares? Naheem Hines might be back for the Browns too. They have all the running backs in the world. Kevin Stefanski says they really want to pound the rock and run more, which makes a lot of sense since they have a corpse at quarterback. I'll be back on Saturday with a full update, but you can always check out the newsletter for all of the updated information. All right?
Mayo experience! Experience!